Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 98 podcast. I'm your host, Kiran, and today I'm joined by Isabella from MagicalGirlBella, an accessories and apparel shop she started. For more information on Isabella and today's topic, please follow us at Instagram at 98.podcast and at MagicalGirlBella. Check out her website, check out her TikTok, and check out her Facebook page. It's all linked in the bio description. Welcome to the show, Isabella.
Hi everyone. My name is Isabella from Magical Girl Bella. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. I know we were talking about this earlier, but you were one of the first guests I wanted to have on last season. So I'm so excited that you're here with me today. Alrighty. So I want to start off by doing some little product questions, but first off, can you give us a little introduction as to what is Magical Girl Bella?
Sure, that would be great. So Magical Girl Bella is inspired by magical girls made by and for all magical babes. So I want to make everything like unisex and every person and what you identify with to wear whatever the hell you want, basically. So if you want to wear statement earrings, then go ahead. If you want to wear necklaces, go ahead. And I make everything ranging from like chokers to like Ouija boards. So basically anything that you think is like magical girl or magical girl inspired, then I probably have it.
Nice. Yeah, no, I like that you brought up the Ouija board thing because I remember seeing that and it was just a contrast from your cute little like Animal Crossing, what is it? The Crocs.
Oh yeah, I have
and then
like the Croc charms.
Yeah, the Croc charms. We'll talk more about the products in a second, but seeing the contrast between that and then the Ouija board right next to it on your website was just hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Loved it.
Thank you.
So where does the name Magical Girl Bella come from?
Well, to be honest, I didn't have a name in mind. Like I just took one day to try to decide on the names, and I had things like Louie Lover, which Louie is the name of my cat, right? So I honestly had no idea what to name my shop, and like everything seemed like it was surrounded by my cat, Louie. And I was just thinking like, there's a lot of people that don't know Louie, and it might just come off weird. And I think I even have like Louie's mom or whatever, or my favorite one is like Love and Louie. Yeah, so I thought that one was cute.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I need to like probably focus on a niche market, or like finally maybe like narrow it down to what I actually want to sell. So I was thinking like, okay, what do I like? I love anime, and like I get a lot of Japan inspo, and also it helped that I was there twice so far, and hopefully going to be my third time soon. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I've always wanted to be a magical girl ever since like I started watching Sailor Moon when I was a kid, still living in the Philippines. And I was like, okay. And I just cut off my name so it can be shorter, even though no one actually calls me Bella, right? So it was just like Magical Girl Bella, and that name was not taken.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
So it worked out. It was perfect.
Yay. Okay, no, that's really cool to hear about. So how did you actually get started with everything? Like, did the idea just come to you, or were you thinking about this for a while now that you wanted to start this?
Yeah, I was thinking about it for a while because like I work my 9 to 5 job is like a corporate setting. And I felt like I wanted a side hustle to maybe like get some more pocket money for shopping and like buying things I want.
Right.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I just wanted to try something new. And especially during the pandemic, like I was just home all day. Everyone was on lockdown. We were all in lockdown. No stores were open. And I felt like I needed something creative to escape like what was happening while also being aware of everything that was happening and surrounding us. But I decided like I was doing resin for some time and like trying to get better at it and stuff. And then one day I just decided like, okay, I'll open it up. I'll open it up to just like my family and friends and start a personal website. And then that's how it started on just Big Cartel at first. And then like a week later, I would just like, screw it, open it up to the public. Even though I read so many Etsy horror stories, I would just like, I'll just try it. It's okay. I will give it a chance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started with Big Cartel first for like family and friends. And then I went on Etsy, which really helped for the visibility for the most part, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think with the established brand that Etsy is, it definitely does boost like the like reputation or trustability that like your creator is actually going to follow through. So that's really cool to hear. I did want to say like, yeah, with the pandemic going on, I think definitely your products were really cute to, it was just great to see someone doing something positive with their time, right? Because I know a lot of us were just sitting at home and not sure when this is going to be over. And even now we're not 100% sure, but like California, it's trying to tell us not to wear masks anymore. It's okay,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Anyways, with all that aside, like it was really nice to see you open up your own shop and like get your hustle on with that. So props to you for that. Really motivational. Uh, and that kind of segues into my next question. So, what kind of products do you make? We touched on a few of these already, but you have different things from like accessories to, like crystals and stuff like that. So, like, tell us all about that.
Yeah. So basically, with MagicalGirlBella, I just wanted to like bring a bunch of things I love and have other people have a chance to like wear it and like font their own style with it and like however they want with it, right? So I just started creating things that I would actually wear, and that was like cute statement accessories, like the necklace you're wearing, my earrings and everything. Cute. Yeah, so I started with things that I wanted to like wear myself, and then I started getting like learning from like YouTube videos while my shop was still open, right? Like I just started Magical Girl Bella online websites like through Etsy mainly. And I just kept experimenting with things, and like obviously I had a lot of failure, and that's okay. But the thing is like people will still buy your failure because for them it's not a failure. But anyway, I have things from like a lot of cute kawaii Japan inspired things. Like I saw in some Pinterest posts that in Harajuku there's like Japanese woman wearing croc charms on their Crocs. So I thought that was really cute. Also, that idea was given by a friend anyway. And then I bought my own Crocs, and like I bought my mom a pair of Crocs, and she's like my number one supporter when it comes to Croc charms. But aside from Croc charms, I also have like both chokers and necklaces and like different types. Some of them are like more witchy, like I think the one you're wearing, and some of them are just like simple and minimalist with just like one flower, one like real pressed dried flower. And then I have like bigger items that are coasters or also used as trinket trays. So those are fun. And I also have crystal grid charging trays, which is just like where you charge your crystals or cleanse them, or also like cleanse or charge your jewelry as well. I have those plates, and then I have Ouija boards, like actually good size Ouija boards, and then I also have my pocket size Ouija boards.
Yeah.
And then I even have like small, tiny. One of my used to be favorite, it's just I haven't made them because they do take more time, and I sold them for like the magic number of 666, which are like my mini runes, like witches runes. So there's that. One of my favorite products too, and I do want to get back into making those, but I just also have a ton of earrings, like different style earrings, some made with like just real glittery mess, and also some with like long chains, and some called threaders, which are adjustable ones. And I have a bunch of things made with real pressed dried flowers. So I guess you could say I have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm clearly wearing one of your designs right now. I was gonna say I couldn't find these earlier. I'm so mad about this, but you made custom made sakura hanging flowers for my mom.
Yeah.
for I think Christmas, because I had the pink ones and she was like, these would look really cool in black, and she loves black. So I remember DMing you being like, hey, can you make this? And you did, and I was like so helpful. I'll probably insert an image somewhere here in the video, but like, yeah, no, I really think your designs are unique, and like you can tell depending on like the different things I see now on Etsy too. Like it's cool that you're already branding it, or you have like a style, right? And when it does ship, it'll like continue to tell a story. It'll be so cool. I love it. I want to follow up and say, what were some popular items on your shop? Like what sells out quickly, or maybe you recommend people check out?
So I think the actual number one is, when I was just looking at my Etsy dashboard, is the Saccharin one that you and your mom have. And that one, like, I've had orders from around the world, and like even someone from France. So that's really exciting. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. And that was actually, I think, like my first ever Instagram photo.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. And like it's just crazy because like it's still my favorite, and I think it will always hold a special meaning in my heart because it's like my first photo and also like one of my first products ever, and it's still super popular. So I definitely need to make more of those, but that's one of my favorite. Another one I love creating is the pendulum style Ouija board, because it gives the option of like you can use it as just like a pendulum board. This is for my witchcraft people. For the witchy crowd, definitely. Yeah. And like it's where you hold like a crystal and have it hover on top of the circular pendulum board, and you can ask it yes or no questions. But if you want to be more daring, or if you want to be more specific, then you can have it lean towards letters. So those I love making because like people really connect with their spirit more over there, and some people have told me that it helped them reconnect with a loved one who passed away, and I just feel like, wow, like I helped them do that. So I think that's really cool. Also with those, it takes me like maybe 3 days to do, because the first part would be like planning it, and then like pouring the first part of the resin, and then adding the dried flowers, and then after that I have to like add another layer, right? Because I want the first layer to pop out with all the flowers, and I don't want to like drown out the flowers. And then the third part is like the doming. So the demolding process, and then I have to paint over it. So there's that. So that one I definitely make with like tons of care and love. There's that one. And then another favorite is like basically when I take anything kawaii, like my sprites, like from the Ghibli movies, and I turn them into earrings or keychains or bone charms, because those for some of them, I like adding like little fruit bits. And so like, instead of the suds that they usually collect, like the dirt from the chimney or whatever, I like to think they collect like gold or fruits or flowers. So those are fun. And also I may have forgotten to mention that like I just started making apparel for the brand, which I'm super excited about. It's fun. And like I hired my sister, who's one of your BFFs.
Mariella.
Shout out to Mariella.
Follow her at, what is it, Fatty Eats, right? HATT.EATS. I think it's that. We'll go back to it and check. Insert it here.
Yes, but she drew some things for me, which is the strawberry milk carton and a boba, but like both of them made a MagicalGirlBella style. So like, for example, the boba has like a crescent moon on like the plastic lid, and it has like heart-shaped boba pearls. So I turned those into like t-shirts and sweaters, and in the future I hope to be making more of those, because honestly, like I have always wanted to be not really fashionista myself, but like I love fashion, and I think I want to do something with fashion too, and hopefully MagicalGirlBella can become that.
No, that would be really cool if you had like merch that's more like I guess for anyone who doesn't wear jewelry maybe, or doesn't, isn't into the witchcraft stuff, like wearing a cute little boba shirt or boba or a little milk tea one, that one's really cute too. Like having apparel is really cool. But yeah, that's launching soon, or has it launched already?
It's just pre-launch right now, but I am planning to launch it officially. So right now it's pre-launch and it is on my personal website on Big Cartel. But once I have it launched, then I'll have the listing up on Etsy in the apparel section of my shop. So there's different sections, and then it'll be the first one. I like to have them in ABC order. Yeah. So that I am thinking, because I like to launch new things before like an event. So that one I'm thinking of launching like the day of the AAPI Heritage Festival at Garden at the Flea on 5/29.
Yeah, no, that segues into my question about, do you have upcoming events? Yeah, there's one happening. This episode's coming out on Sunday, so this upcoming Saturday, 5/29, right, is going to be your in-person event. So people can come meet you, fan sighting going on. I'll be there too. So meet me.
I thought you almost forgot you were helping out that day. I was
no. Because you know how like we were recording this like a week before, I was trying to do the math and be like, when is it? Like, anyways. But yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like, what is the flea market event? How you're getting involved in it and what's to be expected?
Yes. So it is actually, I think, going to be my biggest show yet. And it's at Garden at the Flea at Berryessa. So it's a 2-day event starting on Friday at 5 to 9 p.m. But I will be there the next day on Saturday. But you can come both days to support the AAPI Heritage Month. And we will be donating as one of the vendors. We're all like collaborating in donation with I don't exactly remember the organization, but they are AAPI related organizations. And I believe one of them is to help stop Asian hate crimes. And each vendor is donating one of their piece, and I'm donating one of my art pieces. Yes. And we'll also be doing like a raffle and things like that at the event. So it'll be super fun. And there will also be food trucks. I am so excited for the food trucks. But I'm also really excited because I love doing in-person shows, and I love like meeting new people, and like connecting with people. And I love when like one of my followers or fans, whatever you want to call them, like actually goes to my shows. It just means a lot to me. But we will be showing off our shirts that day, and I will have a bunch of different options too. And you can like see the shirts and the sweaters in person with like some different colors. But yeah, so I'll have that. And then I will also have an Adopt a Crystal event in the table where I have like a limited amount of crystals that are just like waiting for homes. And I will, of course, always have like accessories and jewelry.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, thank you for sharing about that. And yeah, if you're listening to this, come through, support. It's on May 29th from 10 to 5? Is it from 9 to 5?
It is from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
There you go. Please show up, meet us, check out the products, come support the Asian Bay Area Asian community and all the Asian communities everywhere. And yeah, I'm super excited about this. I think especially like you were mentioning the in-person events, being able to see someone get excited about your products like on the spot is so exciting. Like I remember going to one of your events here in Santana Row, and then I was just sitting to the side being a weirdo, but like just seeing people in the booth and being like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Like I love that for you. Like it's so exciting to see, because if people are shopping online, you can't see it, right? Like you can't see their expressions, but the in-person connection is so deep. So love that. But
it really is. And like it's different when you can like actually see the products in person and decide that you want to buy it versus just like buying it online. And like with the sunlight too, because I put a ton of glitter in my stuff, and like some of them are with finer glitter, and then some of them are like with chunkier glitter, and just like you can just see more details if you're not just looking at the photos. And
Right.
it's more fun when you have like your sailor scouts, which are the people helping me, like also connecting with customers, and I like seeing them in action too. And I feel like it just brings everyone together. And I think I forgot to mention that there will be a live DJ too at the event. So come party with us.
Yeah. It's gonna be popping. No, love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, no, thank you for explaining all that. One thing I did want to jump back to about the products that you were mentioning. You mentioned like could you talk about a little bit like what is it made of, the material, and
Mm-hmm.
just in case anyone's maybe allergic or needs to know all of that fun stuff. But yeah.
Okay, sure. So all of my handmade jewelry and accessories are made with resin. So I hand make everything, which means that like the second item I made of that doesn't exactly look like the first, because I have to hand pour everything with resin. And with resin, it's like a whole different process from just like attaching the jewelry to the hardware and actually finishing it. And with resin, you really do have to work carefully. Like my curing area where I dry and wait for the molds, wait for the resin to fully set and cure,
Mhm.
is outside. Like
Mm.
I don't have that inside, not only because I live in a small tiny place, but because like for the safety of my partner who I live with, and also my cat. So any pets, they just should not be around while you
Right.
work with resin. And like I wear goggles and a respirator with filters and gloves, and I used like a bunch of different tools like popsicle sticks and like toothpicks and all that fun stuff to work with resin,
Mhm.
and a little heat gun to pop some bubbles. But yeah, you just really want to make sure that you are prepared to work with a safety hazard, because you don't want to be giving yourself like you don't want to be getting yourself sick and you don't want
Right.
to be the cause or the main reason why your pet or your family members or whoever you're living with gets sick, because working with resin is actually really dangerous. But once it's cured, meaning like it's fully settled and hardened and everything and like not tacky anymore, then you're set, you're fine. um, and I use in my products, I also use like hypoallergenic stuff, because I have sensitive skin and I have like really sensitive ears too. So I like to work with those. And some people, like, I understand some people have like allergies with certain things. So you can always message me if you're worried about anything.
Mhm.
But yeah, like resin's safe as long as you handle it carefully. And I do want to like reiterate that you have to be wearing proper PPE when working with resin.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing. I didn't know what that was, to be honest. So when I had saw like when I was looking it up, I was like, whoa, whoa. Like, because I don't know what you were using, but I just assumed it was like your typical whatever. Like, is it a common material to use in jewelry?
Mm-hmm. It is. And like a lot of things are actually made with resin, like a lot of cups and like a lot of decorations are used with resin. And actually, like even glue has some epoxy material, which is also in resin.
Mhm.
And also, one misconception I do want to clear is that people think resin is so bad for the environment, but it's actually not, since like it's as bad as using other artistic things, like artistic ingredients like clay. It's as bad as using clay. I think there's just like a rumor going around that like resin is so bad, it's harmful for you, it's harmful for the environment.
Mhm.
But these things that people purchase are like art products. So people tend to buy them for the long term, instead of like when you buy something like a shirt or like a new earrings from Walmart or something.
Mhm.
So Yeah.
No, thank you for clearing up that misconception. And definitely there's of course there's plenty of things that are damaging the environment. But I do like the example of like you buying probably at Walmart something that you're gonna buy once versus like supporting a small
Yeah.
business. There's a lot of positive impact there. So spend your
Hmm.
money wisely. Speaking of money, let's talk about your business overall. So you mentioned that you hand make everything. And so do you work by yourself? Like, are you doing this all by yourself?
Yeah. To
Yeah.
be honest, I know I do everything by myself, but I get a lot of help from people too at the same time with different things that they can help me with.
Yeah.
So I heavily rely on like having people available for shows, and that really means a lot to me because
Mhm.
it takes out like an entire day to just like spend the entire day with me and like sell, talk to people you don't know, and like
Mhm.
I I am not an introvert. I am an introvert. Like I it drains me just like knowing I have a show coming up, and that's
Yeah.
like I think that's like why I can only do like maybe one show.
Yeah.
So the introverted side of me, I just like I don't know if I can do this. What if someone like talks crap about my product and I don't know what to say, or like
Like them.
yeah, so it really means a lot when people like come with me with my shows, and that's
Mhm.
like my sister and her friends. So that means a lot to me. And I like just the other day, I had my mom help me with like hole punching.
Mhm.
So the stuff that I get help with really varies. And like, I appreciate each of them too. And like, my boyfriend officially became an Instagram boyfriend because I make him take pictures of me wearing the new apparel.
Mhm.
So there's that. And then like besides the tasks on like the day-to-day shows, there's always things to do, like add the hardware and like try to think of designs into like new jewelry or like new apparel too, since I now have that. But there's also like posting on social media and having like honestly, I do not get TikTok. Like I don't get it. But now like one of my friends who's much younger is like going to be handling my TikTok for me very soon. So
Yeah.
that's fun. So I think like I'm getting a lot of help in different ways and I love it. It doesn't just have to be like, oh, making new stuff or anything, but there's a lot of people helping me in different ways and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. Especially just to plug your TikTok, if people want to, because I think I've seen a few of them, you're demolding and you're showing your process, right? In a couple of them.
Right.
If you want to see like a visual of that, please check out Magical Girl Bella TikTok. What's your handle? Is it the same thing?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Check it out. Follow her for more demolding and all the like behind the scenes, I'm assuming, because that stuff
Mm-hmm.
is so cool. But yeah, that's really cool to see like you did this by yourself and you're also like asking for help and support, but that's really cool. So when you do grow larger, are you planning to hire more people to like help you, or do you think
Mm-hmm.
you're just going to outsource right now from like family and friends and then we'll see?
Mm-hmm. Well, to be honest, right now, how I pay people, it's just like I give them a few free stuff,
Mhm.
and then I pay them in food, like especially after the day of the event. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we go out to like I don't know sushi or K
Yeah.
barbecue or wherever we want, and that's how I pay them right now.
Right.
But eventually, I do want to get bigger, like much bigger than I am today. And like, I don't know how big, I don't have like a definite goal of how big I want to get,
Mhm.
but big enough where I can like hire regular employees is my goal and like make this as my 9 to 5 eventually.
No, I could see it opening up a little shop and everything. Be super cute.
Mhm.
Awesome. So, I know you mentioned Big Cartel and Etsy as like your selling platforms, but I wanted to know how did you decide on those platforms, or how did you even figure out a way to distribute or trademark, or
Mhm.
because I think a lot of people who want to start these things, that's probably like the first hurdles or challenges they notice, and it prevents them from going any further. So I was wondering what was your process like for that?
Well, I read a lot of horror stories with Etsy, but I think everyone will always have like horror stories everywhere, especially with starting. But first I started with Big Cartel because like it had like no fees, right? And I just wanted to see how it will go with just selling to my family and friends at the moment. And I didn't have a huge following or anything, but like it went super well. And then I used that money to buy more supplies.
Right.
And then from there, I just like, okay, a week later, I decided to just like give Etsy a shot. And it's been working out great so far. And I think with the fees that Etsy takes, I guess it might make up for it because they do provide a lot of the visibility for me, because otherwise I don't know how some customers would have found me. And plus, like everyone else also already know what the Etsy platform is, and they already like have been shopping there. So that's really helpful.
Right.
But eventually I think I do want to get off Etsy just because they take so much fees. Like maybe after I have a huge following or something, but eventually someday I want to have a more personal website.
Right. No, definitely. That's really cool. And then that kind of segues into like other misconceptions or things people don't realize before starting their own maybe project or small business or online store. Did you want to touch on anything like that? Maybe some things that you didn't know about that you think people should probably like consider?
Yeah, there's a lot. Like I don't even know where to begin, but like
Because for me, I was thinking about it like trademarking, and then
Mhm.
I always get confused between trademark and patent, but like just being able to actually, sell a product,
Mhm.
like licensing fees, all of that, like
Oh yeah.
what is all this, right? So,
Yeah. Like I don't even know anything basically. Like I haven't learned enough, but I keep learning like each day. And like how I just started is Mariella, my sister, just drew some stuff for me that I can use for the brand logo.
mhm.
And then I still use the profile picture. If you haven't seen it yet, I use it in like all of my social media handles, but it's a picture of me drawn as the magical girl, and then my cat, who is supposed to be like, the magical girl sidekick. So that
Right.
was fun. And I just had her like draw some things I could use
Mhm.
just for fun, which is like it's it's a star with that kind of looks like a brooch, but it's
I'll put
what
a picture somewhere here
okay,
too.
okay, awesome.
But for the
Yeah.
people listening on the audio, yikes, go check out the Instagram page to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, check it out on my Instagram page. She drew that. I use it in
Yeah.
all my story highlights, and it's basically what Sailor Moon uses too.
Right.
So I think it's just finding what you're actually super interested in and like narrowing it down to what you can make and what you think you can profit off of. And there's a lot of misconceptions with like failure, because I totally think it's okay with you to fail as long as you learn and grow from it. And I think people expect to sell like right away. People expect to make like $1 million or something, or some crazy amount right away or something. But usually people start with like negative funds, because you're putting so much money into like supplies and like getting your website stuff and whatever other things you need to do.
Yeah.
But there's definitely like an investment cost,
Mhm.
but you can write all of those investment costs in your tax refund. So it's okay. And that will like lower your tax bracket and like lower your the amount of tax you had to pay.
Right.
Because let's just say that like I just finished my taxes, right? And when I was working on it, I would have had to pay like $2,000 in taxes because of what I made from 2020.
Right.
But I lowered it to like zero because I wrote down all of my expenses. So there's that. Don't worry about the tax too much. That was the number one thing that I worried about.
Right.
But in regard to starting, I would say like be prepared for the startup cost and be prepared to fail. It's okay. And also it's okay if you only have like 100 followers compared to like 1,000. I learned that the amount of followers you have doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm sure it's nice that you get like a lot of views, right? and there's more people who are like actively looking at your page, but the thing is, that's what you think, because the number one important thing is when you have a following is that these are active followers and these are people continuously buying your products. Mm-hmm. So if you have 1,000 followers, but there's only like 3 people who actually care about the brand, and that's just like not good. So you want people to like be actively engaged and people who actually love the brand, and you should care about those people more than just like having 50,000 followers or something. Because in the end, it doesn't matter. What matters is like who's listening, who's reading, who's following, and who's buying your stuff.
Right. I think you put that like really beautifully, because in business school too, like that's what they teach you. It's like at the end of the day, it's not like your visibility is great, right? But if those people aren't converting over or aren't like purchasing or supporting you, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like it really doesn't. And I think so I do like that you brought that up, like the number of it doesn't matter as much as you think it does, but you should really be focusing on the people who are actually supporting your brand and like the customer loyalty aspect of it. So thank you for touching on that. That's actually one of the questions that I wanted to talk about a little later, was like, how do you grow your following, or how do you maintain that customer loyalty? So do you want to touch a little bit on like what you've been doing to make sure that, you know, you're in touch with your customers, you're getting their feedback? Because I did want to bring up, Isabella has a 5 out of 5 rating on Etsy. Perfect score. You should check that out. So how do you do that? Like, how do you maintain and make sure that the customers are getting what they're expecting and like they're happy with their products? Because that could be probably like a stress point for some people.
Yeah, definitely. And like at first, I was doing everything to try to make them happy. Like I was shipping things next day, and like I was replying to messages within like 2 minutes. And I was working on customs like the night of, and I was shipping like free earrings or something that took me like so much time to create. It's like just one of the free products. And like I learned that not everyone wants that stuff. Like some people would just throw the earrings away. And yeah, things like that. But it was definitely a learning process, because I think people just really care about the quality of the product that they actually bought. They don't want the extra stuff. Free earrings are nice though, I'm sure, but I still do give more freebies to those who have been purchasing from me for a while, because like I know who these people are, and I know who is constantly buying or like buying things again. And I know like who's sharing things with their friends and things like that. And I like to give more freebies to those people just as a way to like, hey, thank you so much, because like it really means a lot to me. And like I see who shares my stuff on like their social media platforms. So I like to give freebies to those people. And those freebies this time are just like other side things I worked on before, like just don't feel like listing. I'm not going to go out of my way ever again to just like make myself super stressed or give people a bunch of random free things that cost me too much time to make. That I'll be like listing those. So I decided I wanted to put like my mental and physical health state forward. And I'm still getting those 5-star reviews. Yeah, so that's great. I think my advice would be like to just make sure you know who your customers are. And also like you should probably create more of the things that people are constantly buying, or like whether that's a category like witchcraft versus kawaii stuff, and probably alternate so you have like different fan base, and also you continuously have different stuff for those fan base. And just make sure that your items like in really good quality. And it honestly doesn't have to be perfect. Like I don't think any of my stuff is perfect in my eyes. It may be for whoever purchases it, but like there's things like little air bubbles that cause holes in the things, and because it's resin, like that's totally normal. And maybe I didn't like the way a glitter looked, or maybe I didn't want a placement here, or I didn't want how the sticker turned out after I finished it, or I didn't like how the colors look in the end after the process. But I think that there will always be someone who just has to have that item, and it may take a while, but there's going to be someone who wants that items, and then hopefully they give you a 5-star review.
Yeah. No, thank you
Yeah.
for sharing. I think, definitely in the beginning when you are catering to like your customers, I think what I really liked that you did, and I've seen a couple people do this too, but having that kind of like thank you message, right? Because I think you send like a business card and then you say like thank you on the back of it. Like I really love that. Like whether or not there's a free gift inside, I think that's what I love is just like the handwritten note being like thank you, right? Even if it's not written by you, it's written by like Mariella or something. Like it's just
I
great.
still do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still handwrite them. I
Yeah.
still say like thank you for being magical, babe, and then
Yeah.
sign Isabella. Yeah, I still do that. And I still give a free sticker and a free
Yeah.
candy that I get from my local Asian market. So that's my favorite part. Like if
Yeah.
I were a customer, I would love to get like a
Yeah.
piece of candy or something, because I feel like it's still related to my brand.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I think that's a really good thing you brought up too. And we talked about this in like episode 35. One of my team members, Amy and I, we talked about how to build a brand and like how to build a podcast. And we talked about branding in it too. Like you need to know who your target audience is. Like if Isabel's selling like witchy things and also like cute little kawaii things, those are two different groups of people. They might overlap too, right? But you need to be able to communicate value to both of them. And you can't also just ignore one group, right? Like if you only focused on like the witchy stuff and not the kawaii stuff, you're going to lose connection with that audience and they're going to go somewhere else. So you should do something where you can dedicate your time equally and make sure that you show them that you care about them too. And they'll care about you too in return. So, but yeah, no, thank you for sharing about that. I was also going to ask if you had any like tips for people who are looking to start their own brand or if they are looking to work with jewelry or apparel. I know we just talked about some misconceptions and some things that talked about with like taxes and everything, but if they were to get started today, what would you recommend that they do?
I recommend that they do not worry about failure. And I'm sure I already mentioned it, but like aside from the failure thing, it's like don't worry about like your followers, and don't worry if no one buys the item, because it's okay. Then keep the item to yourself. That's fine. I do that all the time. Yeah, but what I recommend is just like sitting down and just writing, just like take some time by yourself to just like think and say like write down what do you actually want to do, and what is it you're doing that's so different from everyone else doing this thing, and like what you actually want to make out of it. So write your end goals or future goals. It doesn't have to be your end goal, because I don't think there's such a thing with this type of stuff. But write down what you actually want to do and how you're going to do it. The how will come later and it will always keep going. But I think as long as you have like at least a bit of notes on how you think you can accomplish something, then that will help. And to like, I will keep saying like, don't be afraid to make mistakes. It will happen. And like one day, I'm sure I will get a really negative review with 1 star. And I used to like eat myself up when I got a 4-star review, which is actually kind of recent. But the person who purchased it was a competitor, and like I honestly don't know what the issue was, but it's okay. They're a competitor. Maybe they just wanted to give me 4 stars, and things like that will happen, and it's totally normal, and it's okay to be discouraged once in a while, but make sure that your like health and mental being comes first. You don't have to like jump over the moon to make each customer happy. You really don't.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that. And then next I want to segment into some like entrepreneurial questions, get to know you a little bit. So Do you want to talk about a little bit about like what college you went to, what your major was? Because you have a business background, right? Like I think that's
Right.
something to note, that you have some knowledge of how businesses work and stuff like that. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So I majored in business management economics and minored in technology informations management from UC Santa Cruz. And I graduated in 2017. So still kind of a recent graduate. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I didn't have like um I wasn't cum laude or anything. Like I think I was just like the average student, but I also work at a corporate job and like honestly I really like what I do. It's just I also want to be creative with my own free time. So that's why I started the side hustle of Magical Girl Bella.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think especially when you're working in a corporate setting, not that I have experienced that much yet, but like the fact that it can be depending on what department you're in, like maybe your creativity is limited. So that's really cool that you were able to find this like as an outlet. Um,
Yeah.
but how do you balance working a 9 to 5 job and then also this as your side business?
That's a really good question because it's so hard. Like I am still learning to balance everything
Right.
because as soon as I finish my 9 to 5 job, then I want to like start working with Magical Girl Bella. And like sometimes just throughout the day, I have like ideas that pop up in my head and I just jot them down, I write them down, but then I want to like work on it right away. But at the same time, I have like project deadlines coming with my actual job.
Mhm.
So it's hard. And then in the afternoon, like I want to watch anime and relax. Yeah, so it's hard, but I would say like you should set things in your calendar, which is what I do. Like every morning I have time set for like in my even in my work calendar it says like 10 a.m. yoga just as a reminder to like get myself up and just like start moving and like work out a little bit so I don't go insane. um,
Mhm.
and just managing your time with like work. There's work. I'm going to do my 9 to 5 corporate job work during this time. And then I'll set a few hours this week during this time to work on Magical Girl Bella stuff. So I think it's just like learning how to schedule things and actually following on it and not just like daydream about Magical Girl Bella all day because that's not helpful. And it's fun. It's really fun to daydream. And I do that a lot, but like I need to put these daydream plans like into actual plans and put them in place.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. So, what would you say is kind of like the biggest difference working in a corporate setting and then kind of having your own entrepreneurial path? Because
Mm-hmm.
it can be different, right? But maybe there's some
Yeah.
overlap in like the skills and stuff.
I think it's really different regarding like having a team and like having people above and below you in terms of the
Mhm.
structure
Right.
versus like just being by yourself. Because when you make a mistake, then it falls down on just like you and it's like so depressing of like I just make one mistake and then I'm just like so angry with myself with this one mistake, whether it's big or small.
Mhm.
Versus if you have a team, then you know who to ask and you know where to get your resources and like how you can fix it. um, and so I think it just makes more time just being by yourself, and you may not have the answer to fix it, but that's okay because you just learn to move on regardless, and you learn from the process and like whatever that mistake was, it's still like part of your growth process. But there's also things like marketing, like how you get your brand out there, and also customer service, like who's going to be answering the messages on Etsy or like Instagram messages, things like that. And like posting and the actual art and packaging takes me so much time because I want to like I love handwriting the notes and stuff, but I want to also like pack everything with love and like and ordering supplies and like
Right.
also putting things away once you get a ton of these supplies. So everything falls on you, just one person,
Mhm.
and everything takes so much time. And I think what people don't realize is like we're not just creating and posting products all the time. It's like all these packaging and making sure everything is okay with like quality, and also replying to messages and keeping up with your social media,
Right.
basically everything. You're doing all the departments as one person.
Right. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. Um, Also, so since you started, could you remind me of like when did you actually launch your shop, like publicly, I guess?
Publicly, I think, okay, I should remember because it was like a week after my dad's birthday. So I think
Mhm.
like Big Cartel were just family and friends, right? I started late August and then I opened up my Etsy shop in September.
Got it. So you
Mhm.
started in the middle of the pandemic. So
Yeah.
has that impacted your I don't know, overall plans or just what you were doing? Because I guess there's not much to compare it to because you didn't start before. But now that
Right.
like the pandemic is kind of we're on the later end of things, people are vaccinated
Mhm.
and stuff like that. How do you see your idea or your business being affected now?
Mhm. Well, before like I started this as a quarantine craft and like it definitely surpassed that. Like I had no idea I would get this many orders or like people following the
Right.
brand or anything. And I was just like thinking like how can I put my business out there, and in-person shows really help. So I just started doing in-person shows like
Mhm.
starting December, and then I did a few this year. My December market, we were all still in lockdown, so it wasn't that strong. I think there was like a week in Santa Clara County where people were off lockdown and then boom, we were back in
Wow.
again. Yeah, so my market was during that week,
Oh,
and yeah, it was okay, but like I was still discouraged based on like the turn up of the event.
mhm.
um but then like now I'm getting a lot of sales like in person, so which is really cool.
Mhm.
But I in the future I do really want Magical Girl Bella to grow, and that's why I'm signing up for in-person events, and like
Mhm.
eventually I want to have everything like online. But I love doing in-person shows, so I want to do like a few in-person shows a year, and I really want to get into conventions.
Mhm.
It's just right now, I think the wait list to get into those are like 2 to 3 years because
Wow.
of the because of the pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's that. And I think more places are opening up now, but I hope that they are open more in the future. It's just I think a lot of places are behind, and like a lot of places have unfortunately like shut down because of the pandemic, which is really sad.
Yeah.
But how it has affected me, it's like I I don't have any expectations at the moment because I didn't have this, like you said, like I didn't have this like pre-pandemic,
Mhm.
but I hope I can grow despite like wait lists and stuff are being super packed at the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. What's been helping you kind of stay motivated during this time too, especially with the December, maybe in-person event not
Hmm.
happening as like well as maybe you expected, but now seeing that, like, how do you keep that positive mindset and keep going?
Hmm. Yeah. I have people like you that like help me keep going, and I receive like so many positive messages,
Mhm.
and I love it. Like people actually like care for what art I do, and actually in my last one of my last polls on Instagram, because I love having my followers engaged and stuff and like
Yeah.
help me with things I want to do for the brand, and like
Mhm.
even including like product ideas I have, and I have people vote on that.
Yeah.
um, I received feedback from people saying that like um, my stuff was getting too spammy, with just like buy this product, buy this product, buy this product, and they weren't seeing much of like the process of
Mm,
the art, and
mhm,
also like they weren't seeing much of me.
mm,
So I had a poll, and people also recommended that like they wanted to see me more, like my face, the face behind the brand,
mhm.
things I randomly I randomly do, like eating what food I eat and like posting more pictures of my cat Louie, and basically just be more relatable and vulnerable. And that really resonated with me because I felt like people actually care about me and not just the brand. So that was great. So that helped me stay motivated, and like I do promise to just like not be so spammy with posts and just like actually show me.
No, I feel like sometimes it's the opposite, where it's like if you post too much about yourself and people are there for the product, you're like, they might be like, tell me what's new about the product. I don't care about you. But it's so great to see like it's the reverse. Like people want to know about you and your process. And I think that's what builds like a strong brand following, loyalty, like all of that. So that's really cool to hear about. And it's good that you're engaging with your audience through polls and just checking in like, hey, how's the content, or how I love that you did was it the color schemes that you were trying to figure out? You did like a poll on that and was like, we're deciding this together, team, let's do this. So that was really cool. Yeah. Alrighty. So that kind of wraps up like my entrepreneur get to know you questions. I wanted to ask you some fan questions real quick. This will be like the fast round before we wrap up. But what is your favorite anime?
That's so hard. I don't know who sent this because this is like the hardest question I've ever had to do. Let's see. I love Sailor Moon. I love all the Sailor Moon aesthetics and like their outfits. Anything that has to do with Magical Girl, I love. I also love Oran High School Host Club. I recommend people check that out.
OG.
And all the Ghibli films are amazing. My favorite, of course, would be like Princess Mononoke or Spirited Away. So I love those. I also love some anime shows that some people may not know about just because they're older or like less popular. But one of them is called Denocoil, and it's basically about kids who have like kind of like Google glasses, but they see in like another dimension, and it was really good. So I don't know, I have a lot of favorites, but those are just some of them.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Next question. Is there anyone you'd like to maybe collaborate with in the future? It can be maybe an artist or like other fellow creator.
I love collaborating with people. Like I feel like I'm constantly collaborating with my sister because she can draw, and she can draw really well, and like I cannot draw. I can't draw to save my life or anything. I really can't, but I have ideas, and then she just helps me create those and make my ideas come to life. So I have those. And then I actually have been collaborating with some of my favorite artists, and they are highlighted in my story highlights. And also when I list some products that this artist and I collaborate together, then they're listed on Etsy, and like I have the artist link on Etsy if they have an Etsy shop too. So far I've collaborated with a couple witchy makers, and one of them created like crystals for my pendulum board for them, for people. So it's like the crystal you use to hover over the pendulum board. And then one of them created rings for my moon ring holders. And then my other collabs was I created charms to go onto scrunchies. So I am always open if anyone has any collaborating ideas. I really love working with other artists and makers.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was just gonna, if you know the people you've collaborated with, we can even mention them like at the end or in the description. But I was just trying to pull up Mariella's like design page because I only know her Foodstagram, but it's Hairboo or Hairboo.
Yes, Hairboo.
But I'll insert it here in the video portion. But yeah, no, that's really cool that you outsource to different artists. Like you may be designing it yourself, but then you also outsource others' talent and skills and get them involved. And like, I really appreciate that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun when we can like create a product together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My next question is, what is your favorite thing to create out of all of your products? I know you mentioned this a little earlier too, but maybe what you like to create versus like what's your favorite product maybe to wear. That might be a little
Mm,
twist.
yeah. Because my favorite product to wear before I said with like the Sakura earrings, that's
Mhm.
fun. And that will always hold a special place in my heart just because it's like my first photo and like
Yeah.
one of the first things I created.
Right.
But my favorite thing to create, I think I would have to say the crystal charging grids because I just like how they look at the end, to be honest, and
Yeah.
how you can use them to put your jewelry and crystals on top. And like, I actually like painting on that one. I usually hate the painting or etching part of the process, but for that one, it's fine. I like being a mess and just like wiping it at the
Mhm.
end, and somehow it just, the color gets captured. And so far, all of my crystal charging grids have sold. I'm really bad with like keeping inventory, or it's just like creating more, because
Mhm.
that one takes me like so long to do. But I do love creating that one. But my other favorite, I think, would be the mini Ouija boards, like the pocket sized ones,
Right.
just because they're like easily portable, and I put little things inside of the Ouija board. Like
Mhm.
sometimes I just put like a flower or a couple butterflies, and it just come out looking really cute.
Yeah. Nice, nice. Thank you for sharing. And then next question a fan asked was, how can people get involved? Is there an ambassador program?
Um, I did have an ambassador program, and I still do. I have like 3 ambassadors, and I do want in the future to have more.
Mhm.
Um, I I sent my current ambassadors like a bunch of free stuff, and they really helped me with the visibility and like promoting the page and the brand, and like getting their family, friends, and followers to like purchase. So I do want to have like an extension for that. I think I might just be saying this because I'm thinking it right now, but
Yeah.
like I want to have like maybe different levels of it or something, or like affiliates versus ambassadors or something, because I want to include more people. It's just that I don't have enough funds to, because
Mhm.
it costs a ton of money to like create the stuff and send it to
Right.
them. But I definitely want to include more people in that. I did a funny thing just happened though. I the other day, someone who doesn't even follow me requested if they can be an ambassador just to get free stuff. And like the Instagram message was very off-putting too, aside from them just not even following me. So
Yeah.
I thought that was weird. Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah.
I I hope I get more funds to like have an ambassador program so I can get more ambassadors, or like maybe I'll get a I'll call them like affiliates or something,
Yeah.
and have reduced amount, like a coupon code for each person or something for a
Right.
certain percentage amount. Yeah, I will keep thinking about that though. That was a really good point.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think also if you do want to get involved, you can definitely probably DM you or contact you and like
Yeah.
reach out and see, you know, probably
Yeah.
definitely follow her too. Like that's
Yeah.
so shady that you just come out of nowhere being like, give me free stuff, I'll promote you. What?
Yeah.
Yikes. Uh,
Yeah, exactly. But I'm always open to messages, and I love getting to know people.
yeah, nice, nice. And then last question, fan question. What are your goals for Magical Girl Bella Shop and for the upcoming years and any personal goals you have?
I want to grow Magical Girl Bella for sure, as big as I can possibly.
Mhm.
And I want to like get bigger in terms of following, but also like the actual audience who engage with me and the
Mhm.
actual customers. Um, I hope I can get into more shows, like bigger shows or conventions. That's one of my goals. Like, I really want to get into fanime or Crunchyroll Expo in San Jose.
Yeah.
That would be super fun. Or even Anime Expo in LA. So
Yeah.
I would love to do one of those big shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely have like a bunch of goals, but for now, I think I just want to like keep growing Magical Girl Bella. And in the end, I do want to like have my own personal website for my own business, which is Magical Girl Bella, and not just rely on like Etsy for the customers.
Right. Awesome. Well, before we wrap up for today, is there any last minute things you want to bring up, like any socials that they should check out? We mentioned that you have your Etsy page. We're going to link everything
Mm-hmm.
in the description, but events that you're going to be selling in person at that people might want to check out?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So my next show is at the AAPI Heritage Month Festival at Garden at the Flea. I will be there Saturday, May 29th with Kiran also. So I'm super excited about that. We
Yeah.
will be flaunching our shirts. So I'm excited. There will be a live DJ, food trucks. I love food. Hopefully see you guys there.
Mhm.
And then a couple weeks later, I will have another trunk show in Santana Row on June 19th. And then 3 months later, I will have probably my biggest show yet, which is at SacAnime.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
exciting.
Yeah, no, it's so exciting, like to see everything so laid out. And again, if you are interested and want to learn more, follow us on Instagram at 98.podcast. We're going to be linking everything from Magic Girl Bella. And also check out Magic Girl Bella at Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Check out their website. Everything's linked in your Instagram too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So feel
Yeah.
free to reach out. But yeah, thank you, Isabella, for being here. Is there anything else you wanted to mention before we just wrap up for today?
I think that's it. But thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being on. We talked for a while now.
Yeah.
I was just checking
Awesome.
the
I'm
time. It
so
was like
glad.
we just started, but
It flew by.
it did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that my new apparel, the sweaters are made from 5%. 5% of it is made from recycled water bottles. So I think that's cool. And I do try to be like eco-friendly with all of my supplies and all of my products. So hopefully you guys check me out.
Yeah, for sure. Again, to learn more, please check out Magical Girl Bella on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, website, everything. Learn more about us. Check out our LinkedIn, our website, our Instagram. Connect with us. We'll be adding Isabella on our LinkedIn too if you want to connect professionally with her. But yeah, anyways, thank you again for being on, Isabella. Thank you everyone for listening. And until next time, bye bye.